What's happening, my friends? We here. Let's get it going. I see my brothers here. My good brother, old Fogey Stogie's here. Let's get this Hummer going. Look, it's Tuesday night. We're kicking it with you for a second. Just for a second. It's a work night. It's a school night. What am I smoking? I'm smoking a Crown Heads Las Calaveras. And so that's what we smoking tonight. We're talking about brands we trust, brands we don't trust. And so you know me, everything I do is intentional. Why am I smoking a Crown Heads after I talk all bad about them? It's all intentional. We talking about brands we trust, brands we don't trust. What's going on, Nate? What's happening? He's spoken him a Dunbarton. That's a brand that many love, many respect. I know old Fogey, I think that's his most favorite cigar brand. And so check in. Let's get going. Last show we did a 3-hour show. That was Friday night. I'm still recovering from that. And so I told myself tonight we jumping in, jumping out, having some good conversation. And then I'm even going to work out tonight. So that's how long we not. I just ate dinner, just worked. Had a great day at work today. You know, some days you just got to shine. Some days you got to let them know why they hired you. Today was one of those days when you make your money. Today I was agreeable in all instances. Let me know if you ever had one of those days where you just do everything you're supposed to have done. You didn't start no controversy. You didn't start no problems. You just solve solutions all day long. So that's what we did today. And now we here with the people. What's going on? Let me know. You know me. Mic check, sound check. How we looking? How we sounding? We about to have us a show. Two things I say with every show. With every show, you already know. I'm like, look, it's gonna be my last. This might be my last one. They're not gonna let me survive this. This will probably be my last one. Ain't no way we survive this one. If we survive tonight, then a legend has been made. There's no way. If y'all let me survive tonight, then whatever else happens, that's just on y'all. You guys can end this tonight. And so we're going to have us a good time. Talking about the cigar brands we just don't trust. Cigar brands we just don't trust. And so let's do it. What's up, DP? Brother smoking him a EP Carrillo Battleborn. I haven't even heard about that one. So smoking me this Las Calaveras. We're going to get it into it. And so tonight, I'm going to just do some calisthenics, getting in some cardio. So after this, I'm just going to smoke this one cigar. I had me a salad for lunch. Had some shrimp and rice for dinner. So I'm trying to get back on my fitness. Drinking me some mushroom coffee. Why? I saw it on social media. Decided I'll check it out. Let me know if you guys are into the mushroom coffee. Is it going to make me fit? I don't know. I saw it on social media. If it's on social media, it's got to be right? There's no way you're not going to find a brand on social media and it's going to lie to you, right? Of course not. And so I was on social media and I saw this brand and I bought it because it was on social media and it was a brand that social media was pushing. So I bought it. So I got me this mushroom coffee. I think it's by Rise. And I'm smoking me a Crown Heads Las Calaveras. Social media told me to do it. Social media will never lie to you, will it? So we about to kick it off, have us a show. We're gonna give away what we give away. I've been hearing a lot about the Perdomo Legacy Shade Grown, so I'm glad to hear from a friend that it's good, not social media. I don't know why we can't get back to where we just recommend stuff to each other. What's up, everybody? Yeah, that's why I did the live tonight. So I know I've been doing the Friday nights, but I said, let me just jump in on a Tuesday, just to hit the people up. And so even though social media told me to get mushroom coffee, I'm gonna get it because Andre says it's good for mental clarity and physique. It's supposed to clean out my liver. So for those who be drinking liquor, get you some mushroom coffee. Social media told us to do it. What's the best cigar bar or lounge in New York? You know what? There's one that I used to love. I've heard that is closed. So I can't even. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. I ain't been to New York in a little bit. What's going on, everybody? So let's give away the stuff. We're not messing around tonight. So I'm smoking this Las Calaveras. So drawing from last show, we did this. Look, I was clear. You guys making me look bad at this point. I'm giving away the stuff. I randomize it. I'm really trying to give it away. So last show, someone did get, I think Ryan Watson got the Cigar Journal. And I announced it. I said it was Gary something. I can't remember. Gary something. You guys, you can check the footage. Gary something won the bottle. He bought the bottle of New Riff. But Gary ain't claimed it. That was Friday. And so I made the announcement. I said it over and over. Gary, come on, hit me up. Gary didn't hit me up. So the bottle of New Riff is back in the drawing. So in about 30 minutes or so, I'm going to be raffling off a bottle of New Riff. I've been trying to give this thing away for like a month now. You guys really make me look bad. So it's Tuesday now. I'm not going to do a show this Friday because, like I said, I'm doing an actual men's circle at my house. Brothers are coming over. We're going to sit. We're going to smoke cigars. We're going to drink. We're going to talk. But I'll be back with you on the 24th. I'm sorry, the 23rd. So not this Friday, but next Friday. And so we're going to be raffling this off. So later I'll say how do you win that. There's another bottle. I've been trying to give this thing away. The winner of this is the Nassif Family Reserve, an amazing bottle of whiskey. The winner is a channel, a person known as Giant Among Men. So congratulations, Giant Among Men. Giant Among Men. Giant Among Men. So I'm giving away this whiskey. We'll get into I'll give away cigars and all this stuff. Giant Among Men. You are the winner of this bottle. So congratulations. You're the winner. You're on the clock. Watch the replay. You got a whole 10 days to respond. And so if you don't respond between now and my next show, then someone else is going to get that. And so Giant Among Men. I've been saying his name. So Giant. You can watch it now. I even let you watch the replay. But you got to contact me. And so a lot of times you guys say, oh, I won. Yay. And then I don't get an email. I'm not tracking you down. So you got to check in and claim your prize. Yeah, this New Riff is really good. My sister says so here's what she said. So she smoked. Okay, all right. Listen. This show is going to be just us. And that's going to be the whole theme of this show. It's just us. I said earlier I'm drinking some mushroom coffee. You know why? Because a real person in real life recommended it to me. At some point, we gotta say, at what age do you just stop listening to hype? Is there an age where you say, "Look, I'm not gonna just see a an advertisement or hear some brand hype of a product and then go buy it." If you still doing that and you in your senior age, at what point do you stop? And that's really what I want to talk about tonight is how we just let these brands just do whatever they want with us. You know what we need to do? We need to listen to each other. I did a video and I said, look, yeah, I smoked a video Tego, and I was like, I didn't like it. A bunch of people said, I didn't like it either. And I even said in the video, I thought it was me. I thought I must have done something wrong. My sister is saying the exact same thing that I said. She says I dry box it too long, too dry, too hot and bitter. Okay, that's what we tend to do. We always think I messed the cigar up. I did something wrong. No, no, my sister. That might not have been on you. Because if we all having the same experiences, at some point we gotta say, hey, maybe it ain't us. Maybe some of these cigars ain't as good as they have been made out to be. But we're gonna have us a good show tonight. And so Brother Ask is the family bottle of bourbon or finished bourbon. Yeah, both of these are just so the new riff. This is a single barrel. This is bourbon. That's what you can win tonight. This is the giveaway. This is the giveaway. The new riff is the giveaway. The Nassif is American whiskey. In fact, it's American white whiskey. And so it's American white whiskey. And so with today's show, listen, this show is so much for the people. I'm not even saying nothing. I'm going to give you a quick little monologue just to open up the show, but I'm not sharing my own thoughts. I want the brands to understand this is the people. This is what the people think. You see, sometimes these brand owners, they get their hype man and they're just around hype man and they think their cigars are so amazing. Then a guy like me comes out and says, no, your cigar is trash. And now they think I'm being controversial. But we sat and said it was trash in the lounge. It was like 20 guys in the lounge who said it was trash. But the problem is if I say it, I got the microphone. So now it looks like I'm hating for some reason. And so I said, you know what? With this today's show, I'm not showing you no clips. I'm not even pointing out no cigars. It's just the people. What do the people say? Who do the people rock with? Who do you trust? And so that's gonna be our conversation today. Isn't it funny how we all like the same things? We all loving the Amazon basin. We all seem to rock that Lamprey Limitada. Andre, I'm just reading the comment. He said Fadio Tego is trash. If nobody will say it, I will. Look, I'm not even saying nothing tonight. I'm just so everyone says, okay, the Amazon basin is good. Yeah. This is what the people are saying. I'm not forcing the conversation. I'm just letting it ride. Just letting it ride. Focus said the only one that he liked was the Elegancia. In fact, he sent that to me. Still haven't tried it yet. My brother said punch is trash. And so I'm smoking tonight. I got me this Las Calaveras. I pulled this out intentionally. Last show I was smoking the Crown Heads La Carême. I used to like it. Remember back in the days, and it's not a long time ago. Remember 2-3 years ago when they told us when Crown Heads was just supposed to be so good? Remember everyone just kept talking about Crown Heads. Remember 3 years ago how Crown Heads was supposed to be so good? What happened? It was so good. They're not good anymore? Well, they John Huber forgot how to make cigars? Okay. Thank you, my sis. We take care of each other on this show. I appreciate you. Crown Heads was supposed to be so good. That's what they told us. Every cigar reviewer was telling us how good Crown Heads is. Probably got Cigar of the Year for every cigar they put out. Now they're not good no more. Okay, got it. Remember how last year was it Warped? Warped was supposed to be so good. Everybody just talk about how good Warped is. They were supposed to be the next best thing. Warped. Everybody just talking about Warped. I even said, look, I don't know nothing about no Warp. So I got a couple boxes sent to me, tried them out. That was 2024. Ain't it funny how 2025 ain't nobody said nothing about Warp? Look at all the top 10 lists. Ain't nobody mentioned Warp. So you mean to tell me it was good in 2024, but it wasn't good in 2025? All right. So they used to know how to make cigars, but they don't know how to make cigars anymore. The cigars they grew used to be good, but it ain't good no more. Listen, my friends, if we grown and we got some common sense, we can start telling the real from the fake. And we can start understanding that, it ain't the cigar that's changing. It's just the hype machine that changes. The cigar is still a cigar. But if it gets hyped one year, they probably ain't going to hype it up the next year. It's just always a money grab. Notice how, and when I say this, we sound like the old people. Notice how Padrones don't go through this problem. Notice how Turo Fuente don't go through this problem. It's always these little hyped up brands. And so at some point, if you're grown and you got some wisdom, some knowledge, some understanding, at some point you got to say, hey, look, I think we've seen this play before. So this is why when I see the new brand that pops up on the scene and gets hyped and hyped and hyped, at some point, when do the adults say, hey, look, we've seen this before? Have you guys ever bought a car from some slimy used car salesman? How many times you gonna do that? How many times you gonna get ripped off? How many times, at which point does wisdom start to set in and you start to say, hey, yeah, I can see what's going on. I see a play here. I see some trickery. And simply put, if you grow up like how I grew up, you can just see it. You can just look a man in the eye and tell that, yeah, this guy, he a crook. Nah, he just looked like a crook. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. It's called discernment. That's how we survive. If you grew up in a neighborhood like I did, you better learn how to spot a con artist. We grew up around pimps, hustlers, con artists. You got to learn how to see it. And so what all I do with my show, with my little platform, is I just point out the obvious and say, hey, I make fun of it. To say, hey, look, guys, you see what they hyping up today? And we know good and well they ain't going to be hyping it up tomorrow. And so that's what we're talking about tonight. Because at some point, we got to say, hey, look. It's okay, you a kid and you just keep making mistakes. It's okay. But at some point, the adults in the room got to stand up and say, hey, look, let's stop messing around with this thing here. Because I don't really think grown-ups play into hype like that. I think that's something for a younger man. I don't think it's like back in the day, sure, we used to buy Jordans. Yeah, new Jordans come out. But when you reach a certain age, you ain't really checking for stuff like that no more. You ain't checking for when the Jordans come out. You checking your cholesterol. You checking your prostate. You checking your colon. You ain't checking to see when the new Jordans drop. When the new Yeezys hit. There's some things that's good for a young man, but to us OGs, we gotta at some point stand up and say, hey, look, can y'all stop hijacking the cigar space? Can we have the cigar space back? We let you guys run with it for the past couple of years. Okay. But look what you guys do with it. You made it into a mockery. The cigar space is just a space where it's hype, it's consumerism, it's expensive, it's buy it. No. That's like Pokemon cards. That ain't what this is supposed to be. Y'all done came up and ruined the whole cigar space. Y'all done made the cigar space into like some crazy little youngin' hype trade. Look, that ain't what it was supposed to have been. And we're gonna talk about it because this was never a problem before, and I think we're gonna solve it tonight. What's up, everybody? We about to get it in. We about to get it in. All right. My brother, no. If a friend sends me a cigar, I keep them and I try them. What fragrance did I rep today? I had a big meeting. I had a big meeting. So I wanted to be sharp. I went with a Louis Vuitton. I believe it's called Le Monde Intense. So yeah, I was looking sharp today. I came ready. So here's how it works. My brother talks about the peddlers. Here's how it works. This is just business. What do I know about business? I got a master's in business. Here's how it works. When you set up an actual company, you're going to sell actual products. You're going to have departments. You're going to have production. You're going to have sales. You're going to have marketing. You got to sell your products. That's business, right? That's how it's always worked. If you want to advertise your products, you go to the publications, you go to the media source, you go to whoever you go to. That's how you sell your products. I did my last show on Friday talking about Cigar Aficionado. That's the source in cigars. It ain't debatable. If you smoke cigars, you read Cigar Aficionado. If you got a cigar company and you're a real legitimate company, you advertise in Cigar Aficionado. You hope to get an interview in Cigar Aficionado. That's the traditional source. But here's what's happened. Instead of trying to be a real legitimate companies, these new companies, and again, I'm just a guy who grew up around pimps, players, hustlers, drug dealers, con artists. And so when I look at a lot of these cigar companies, they seem very familiar to me. I can look them in their eye and say, yeah, you don't seem like a kind of guy I would trust. I wouldn't buy a used car from you. Not judging you, just don't trust you. And con artists are always trying to work a con. Con artists, they're always trying to cut corners. And so one of the corners that I noticed being cut is the whole idea of these companies have a marketing budget, but they don't want to spend no money and actually advertise their products. And so what do? They've come up with this new method of let's just build up hype on social media. And so now and we talk about hijacking the whole platform. Here's what cigar content has become. And this was going to just get me kicked off. Cigar content is now just brand owned and brand pushed and brand supported. I don't know why cigar content creators got this notion, this idea that let's just bring the brands on. Listen, the brands have a marketing department. They can market their own products. They got advertisers. They got all kinds of printed media. They're okay. Social media is for us, the people, the regular men and women. This is for us. So the brands and the companies, they've got money. They've got a budget. They've got people who make ads. They're okay. Social media, whether it's Instagram, whether it's YouTube, this is for us. But here's what's happened. Every single cigar channel, every single live is a brand. Let me say this. And make sure y'all hit the like button because I'm about to go in. This might be the last show ever. There's no way I survive this one. Hit like. Let me know you're vibing to what I'm saying. Let me know you're ready for what I'm about to say. Because I consider myself, I'm the cigar space prophet. I am. I'll say something and people get mad when I say it. But I usually say stuff 6 months in advance. And so I said, hey, can y'all stop smoking on camera? Because that's just boring. And no man wants to watch another man smoke a cigar. So can y'all like just tighten it up and just be better? Can y'all make more entertaining content, please? When I said it, everybody got mad. But then the truth started to come out and people started to realize that, oh yeah, that style of content is kind of whack. And now nobody does that style of content anymore. Everyone's trying to figure out, how do I be creative? How do I be entertaining? How do I? You see, when I said it, folks got mad. But then we all realized it was true. All right, the cigar prophet about to say something else. You know what's worse than watching a man smoke a cigar for an hour? You know what's more boring than that? Watching a brand tell you how good the brand is. That has got to be the most boring content in all of YouTube. I don't know who told us that, oh, this is entertaining. Let's just get some brands on here and let them talk about how great they are. And this is what the people want to see. Hell to the no. Ain't nobody trying to watch no. And people get mad when I say stuff. Listen, everybody's doing that. You got like 100 channels that do exactly that. Only one channel has any kind of success in doing that. One channel has success. All the others are just back on the struggle train. Why? Because nobody wants to watch that. Because that's not for the people. We don't want to watch a brand tell us how great the brand is. If we want to know how great the brand is, we will ask a friend. We'll ask another person. This is what we do. We're not going to listen to the brand tell us how good the brand is. And most of these brand owners, they're not charismatic. You see how I can do this and I can float? Look, they don't have this kind of energy. These guys are stiffs. They're boring. They're not entertaining. These are boring guys. They run a cigar company. I don't know if you think that's some kind of rock star life. These guys are boring. If you look at most cigar channels, their worst lives, their worst videos is when they bring a brand on. It's like watching paint dry. Now, why do I care? I care for a couple reasons. The brands have a budget. They got a marketing budget. What they do, they say, instead of us actually going out and buying ads, instead of us actually going to trade shows and buying space, instead of us actually doing the work that real companies do, let's just push our products on these cigar content creators and they'll sell the products for us. Here's the worst thing about it. In most cases, that marketing budget that they had, and when I say budget, I'm talking about 5-6 figure amounts that they should be bringing. Listen, Prostitutes get paid after they do what they do. These brands have the expectation that we're going to come to cigar content creators, give them a free t-shirt and a free cigar, and get them to push our products. Prostitutes get paid after they do what they do. These brands come and expect you to push their products, and they don't even come with that same budget that they already have allocated. And so when I talk about a space being hijacked, this is a crime. Instead of them actually spending their money with sales and marketing, they said, nah, we'll just push products and create hype. We'll essentially sell our products for free. And so that's what they've done. They've hijacked their whole space. My brother says prostitutes get paid to leave. I like that. But there's honor even among prostitutes. A prostitute says, look, I'm not going to do this for free. I'm not going to take my time. I'm not going to take my energy. I'm not going to take my resources. I'm not going to take my talent for free. A prostitute doesn't do it for free. And so what we have in the cigar space is you got all these brands. Every single show is just brands. Let me ask you, are they bringing some money into these spaces? Prostitutes actually get paid. And the thing I'm always left wondering, so and I watch, again, ain't but one show actually have any kind of success. All the other ones you talking about like just the views is just atrocious. You're talking like 50 views, 75 views. They're bringing on CEOs, founders, owners of companies, and you getting 50 views. Here's what that makes me think. You got a whole company. Your employees didn't watch the live? So how are you going to bring a company on, a brand on? You bring on the brand executive and nobody watched it. That means he didn't even tell his own people to watch it. He didn't even say, hey guys, look, I'm about to do a live tonight. I'm hoping all you guys watch it tonight. The company who you brought on your channel didn't even support the video or the live. Here's the second thing. These companies have a marketing budget. They got a marketing platform. They got social media managers. They got all this stuff. So when you bring a brand on your platform, the brand is supposed to be cross-marketing. The brand is supposed to have their marketing team pushing your live. The brand is supposed to be making sure that this is going to be a success. So if you're doing a live and you got a whole company on and the people who work for the company ain't even watching, the brand ain't even pushing it, prostitutes at least get treated better than that. And so why do I care? Because if we're all operating in the same space and the brands are looking at it and the brands are like, look, we ain't got to pay for nothing. And then they contact somebody like me. And they say, hey, can we come on your platform? We'll give you a free t-shirt and a cigar and a hat. Look me dead in the face. You think there's ever been anything I did in my life because somebody gave me a hat? Look me dead in the face, and I'm just drinking coffee tonight. It's a work day. What do you think I would say? In fact, we can even do this. Let's just have some fun here. What do you think I would say to a company, if they asked me to come on my platform and the compensation was a hat and a t-shirt. Put in the chat. Let me know, because again, this show, this is for the people. The people are going to talk today. What do you think I would say to a company if they offered me a hat and a t-shirt and a free cigar? I just want to know. I just want to know what you think about me. Like how do you see me in this world? My brother Jeff says, he says GTFO. I don't know what that stands for, because I'm a pastor and I'm a godly man. But whatever GTFO stands for, I suppose that's what I would say. You guys are violent. He says, close the door on the way out. Don't let the doorknob hit you, where the good Lord split you. My brother says, middle finger. You guys are so violent. I am a righteous man, a godly man. He says, send me a brother. Yeah, look, I would much rather, look, prostitutes get treated better than that. And so the reason for my whole monologue is to say this. You got to understand, it's always bigger than you. It ain't just about you. It ain't just about you trying to do what you trying to do. If you do something that's so cheap, you cheapen the whole market. You cheapen the whole space. You cheapen everything. These companies, they got a whole budget. They used to pay Cigar Aficionado. They might drop $100,000 in a year advertising. Now they give you a hat. Now they give you a free cigar. We got to understand, if we operating in a space, you got to understand that the space is bigger than you. It ain't about you trying to get some views. The space is way bigger than you. And the reason why this space ain't doing that good is because you got guys who want to just do anything for free, because they think the payment is the brand coming on. But back to the whole, this is social media. This is for us. So if every channel got nothing but brands on, where's the social part? We got the media. The media always been there. There's a media budget, but this is social media. So if it's social media, then where's the social part? And so that's why when I am very particular about this show, because if you turn in and all you do is you listening to somebody push their brand, this ain't brand media. This is social media. Where the people at? And so my show is, that's why I said from the very start, the people, you the co-host, you the panel, you the sponsor, you the special guest. It's the people. And I don't know when we got away from that. The fact that I'm saying what I'm saying, it's just like mind-blowing. Yeah, because everyone else is doing something different. But imagine, think about the cojones you gotta have for you to do something just way different than everybody else. Think about the risk involved with that. And some might say, well, dude, why you keep taking these risks? Why you keep doing this? Like, just stop, just go along. But there's right and then there's wrong. And how many more years are we just gonna sit back and let this happen? You can't tell me you don't feel something different has happened in the past 3 years. You can't tell me cigar space hasn't changed. You can't tell me you a grown man and you just want to be part of the hype. Every year you want a whole new crop of cigars to get hyped and pushed down your throat. At what point are the adults in the room going to stand up and say, hey, look, this ain't what the space for? There's some spaces where, I play golf, play a lot of golf. And there's always like a movement to say, hey, let's make golf a little bit more relaxed. That's fine. That's cool. But that don't mean you're going to go on a golf course and there's going to be like a DJ on the golf course and there's going to be girls in bikinis. And no, it might make the game more fun, but there's a respect for the game. Look at what they did to your cigar lounges. Cigar lounges used to be a place where men and women came and we talked and we conversate. They done took that over. It's a whole new vibe. Yeah, they done threw a DJ in there. That space is gone. Did anybody say anything while it was happening? No. We just sat back and watched it happen. We got the entire cigar YouTube space. What's going on, my frat brother? We just here vibing on a Tuesday night. Smoking me a Las Calaveras. Drinking me some mushroom coffee. Just taking it easy. But at some point, we got to stop and say, hey, look. Are we just going to let folks just hijack everything? Are we never going to say nothing? So that's why I try to even say the message through art, through communication, even through what I'm smoking. I'll say, hey, look, I'm smoking me a Crown Heads because this was hyped in 2023. And next, I'll smoke a cigar by Wart because this was hyped in 2024. And next, I'll smoke a cigar that was hyped in 2025. And so when 2026 rolls along and you see the same play, my friends, what are we going to do? Are we just sitting here? Are we just going to sit here and just keep watching this? And so I said, all right, this year, we just taking the gloves off. This year, we are going to be true to the idea of social media, which means it's social, which means it's for us, society, public. This is our thing. This ain't something to let the brands just jump on and push their boring, mediocre products. And as I look at this show, as I look every show, and I don't know if there's a lot of YouTubers who can say this. Every live I have, I say my last show was my best show. I come on here just a guy. One guy. And every show is better than the last show. And I can't even take the credit for that. Because I think deep down, I think a lot of people are looking and saying, like, can we get back to just having a show? Like a personality? Like maybe some topics? Maybe some, even if it's something funny, something dramatic, something. And that's why I look at my numbers. I was expecting every show, maybe I get, maybe 300 views. That number keeps doubling. I'm just one guy sitting here by himself. It's a cigar show, but I don't even talk about cigars on the show. And if I was arrogant, I would say, oh, it's because I'm doing a great job. No, I don't even think. I think it's deep down. I think because the people are just crying out saying, where are the people in the midst of all this? Because we all know other shows just going to be brands, the brand's going to come on. The brand's going to tell us how great they are. Why did we ever allow that? I mean, is it entertaining? Is it beneficial? why? I feel as if we just let it happen because we just don't know what else to do. And so, again, the pledge and the promise I keep making is to say, nah, this show. And so I said last show, I had a big time person reach out and say, hey, let's do it. I can't even do that kind of stuff because I don't want to just be another watered down voice in the midst of the minutia. So my brother says, nah, I'm not going to conform, because where's the people in the midst of this? Where's the social in the social media? If all we could do is just push brands on the people, how could that possibly be the point of a show? How could that be the point of a platform? To help brands sell cigars? Brands have a marketing budget, a sales budget. They'll sell their cigars. But can we, the people? Can the people kick it? Can the people vibe? Can the people? And so I said all that because one of the things I also noticed, and this is a really long monologue. I noticed that when I say stuff, I think a lot of times people thinking like, oh, I'm just saying it. I'm the one feel that way. I just say what we say in the lounge. I say what we say when we kicking it. And what I notice is a lot of times, and I said this earlier, I think the brands don't know what the people really think. Because if you're a brand and you just come on shows and everybody on the show is like, your cigars are great, your cigars are the best, the brand owners actually think that. So they go away thinking everything is good when it ain't. And so that's why this show is like, all right, well, look, it's just the people talking. The people are the co-hosts. And so we just gonna talk about the brands we don't even trust. The brands we don't mess with. The things we don't even trust. We the voice of the people. And so today's show, I'm not even telling you no brand how I feel about it, because I think everybody gets mad at me and think I'm making stuff up. No. The people will say the brands they mess with and the brands they don't. And the thing about it is, look, the way we was raised, you trust the man or don't trust the man based on your own internal discernment, based on how the cigar tastes, yeah, but also based upon, you just look at a man. So that's all we doing tonight. I'm not even sharing nothing with you. The people, we talking about the brands we just don't trust. Because at some point, we got to take this thing back over. Because every single year, there's like 10 more brands who seems like they're just here to rip us off. So, I'll let the people talk. Let me know. What's the brands that because it's us. What's the brands we just don't even trust? And as you get to typing, we'll say, hey, we can talk about anything. Look, listen. All right, let me spit game for y'all. I pastor a church in Los Angeles, in the hood. And so when I got to the church, the former pastor let me know. He says, yeah, there's a lady. She's a prostitute. She normally has her clients meet her at the doorsteps of the church, and then she'll take them to her apartment across the street. So I pastor in a community where, look, I see a lot. So when we talk about pimps, prostitutes, I don't condone it, but I see it. I done seen way too much to sit back and let these folks ruin the whole cigar space. You think I'm gonna sit back and let? Nah, not on my watch. No. I'll go down. Because you already know. Look, I'm trying to get canceled as it is. If I don't do my shows, I'll probably play more golf. I want to get canceled. But at some point, somebody got to step up and say something. What's the brands we just don't even mess with? Why y'all talking about prostitution so much tonight? I think I must have I must have got y'all going. And it's so funny because when we think about just industry space, my brother says what's happening here is happening in other industries. I watch all these shows and the brand comes on and the brand starts pushing. The brand's like, oh, we're dealing with a storm that happened. We're dealing with the leaf that happened. We're dealing with some bacteria. And that's what's impacting the industry negatively. Tariffs. And I'm like, nah, dude. You is what's impacting the industry negatively. You sitting here is what's ruining the industry. Your very presence is ruining the industry. This is why, and I'm not even drinking tonight. I'm drinking coffee. Imagine you're a brand owner and you call a guy like me. And you, first of all, you say, hey, look, I want to get on your platform. And I got a great compensation package worked out for you. I got you a hat and a t-shirt. Here you go. Can I get on your platform? So we already know what I'm going to say. We already know I'm a throw that gentleman out of the office. So there's the money part, the business part, the idea that you talking to a businessman, you dealing with a business. So no, that funny stuff ain't gonna work. That cheap free stuff ain't gonna work. The second thing I'm gonna let him know is that, nah, you know what's wrong with the industry? You driving up the prices. You doing all the little trickery. You with your con artist ways. You are what's wrong with the industry. And what allows me to say something like that? Because I feel it in my gut. Do I know for sure? No, I don't know. You look like a crook. I got a feeling you a crook. I'm the type, I'll look you dead in the face. Say, nah, you look like a crook. I'm not gonna mess with you. Why can I do that? One, because I'm self-made. Two, I'm just honest. I'm a godly man. And three, I'm here for the people. I decided a long time ago, it's gonna be me and the people. We're gonna either have the best YouTube channel or we're gonna have the worst YouTube channel. But it's just gonna be me and the people. That's the model for this channel. It's a guy and the people. And that's the model. All right. So again, y'all, the people, we got the audacity to say what we want to say. It is so liberating to jump on here and say, oh yeah, you know what, brand, it is so, it's fun, really. All right. Let me get caught up in the chat. All right. Yeah, sorry. And I hate it. My brother's talking about cigar lounges are closing. The reason why I go so hard about the things I say is because we are the last of a dying breed. And in fact, if you watch, I talk about golf. I'm sure you guys all seen Happy Gilmore Part 2. And in Happy Gilmore Part 2, I'll do a breakdown of the movie. Happy Gilmore Part 2, they do this whole thing where they're saying how the purity of golf is being lost. And so they're trying to change golf. And at some point, if that was to ever happen in real life, the golf purists are going to stand up and say, no, we're not going to let you ruin our game. Look at what's happened with the cigar industry. And so they talk all this about, oh, Congress, and we need to pass a bill, and we need to fight against. Nah, I ain't fighting against Congress. I'm fighting against y'all. Y'all the ones, y'all brand owners, y'all the ones. Look, Congress ain't the one that done came out with the limited edition. Congress ain't the one that done double the prices. Congress ain't the one that done bought the same tobacco leaf, rolled it up, put a new ban on it, and sold it to me. My senator did not do that. You did that. So I'm not fighting Congress, I'm fighting y'all. Because you guys are what's ruining the cigar industry. Who? The cigar industry. And unless we say something, do something, we're going to have more cigar lounges closing. We're going to keep paying $20 for a basic cigars. And until and tell the adults stand up and say what needs to be said. And so, what's the cigar brands we just don't even trust? All right, he got him a box of that limitada, so that limitada is good. Can I call out the prostitutes? I'm not calling out nobody. Okay, I might. Y'all gonna have me crashing out and burning tonight. Okay. All right, fine. I thought the essence of the show was the people. The people are gonna list. Come on. All right, look, y'all being way too non-typish tonight. Y'all really want me to get canceled. All right, let's do this. I need to get your typing fingers going. Yeah, y'all scared to say it. Y'all ain't even got no channels. Well, you're not gonna get canceled. All right. Let's give this away. Let's give this away. New riff. So I already said it. Giant among men. Giant among men. Claim this. Giant among men. You won this. Watch it on the replay. You got like 10 days. Claim it. Ryan, your journal's on the way. Somebody else via my Patreon won a desktop humidor. You've already received it. Well, I shipped it out like last week. On my Patreon, I'm going to be shipping out. I got this snakeskin travel humidor. I'm going to be shipping that out this month. So check out the Patreon. Tonight, we go on hashtag truth. I do this often. Truth. TRUTH. Whoever hashtag truth, and that'll be the winner of this New Riff single barrel bourbon. Hashtag truth. That'll get your fingers typing. See, y'all think I'm gonna do like a 3-hour show. That's why y'all sitting here like, oh, about to get good. About to get good. He about to go in. Like, nah, y'all better hurry up and type. I'm gonna hit you with a like, comment, and subscribe, and y'all like, dang, that's it? Show's over? Look, it's a Tuesday. I can't do that. Look, I can't do that 3-hour thing. I'm smoking one cigar. All right, and that might be it. That might be it. I'm not going past 2 hours. All right. Hashtag truth. Get that bottle. Giant among men. You got a bottle on deck. If he doesn't respond, someone else, and then we just keep doing this over and over. In fact, tomorrow I got a video coming out entitled Cigars I Used to Love, I Just Don't Love Anymore. So check that video out. Yeah, that video is coming out tomorrow. And in that one, I just list some cigars. And then I mentioned that, there's some, I think your palate changes. One thing I would admit is that, we're all on a journey. So sometimes you're going to like some cigars, sometimes you're not. So I used to love Tabernacle. I used to love strong Padrones. Now I just don't love them that much anymore. Bro says he don't trust cigars started by famous people or other industries like bourbon. One thing that I would say is it's a business. In a lot of instances, and it's a hustle. I hate to say sometimes, and in some instances, it's a con. And so oftentimes you might have this businessman who now he sees the cigar boom. And so now he wants to jump in, take a $2 product, get some hype on it, sell it for $16. It's a business. And so again, when you get some wisdom and some life in you, you can start you can pick up on this and say, okay, I can tell this guy, I could tell he a used car salesman. I could see it. Yeah. And the bad thing about these guys, what I wish they would realize, these cigar brand owners are doing so many podcasts and shows. All you doing is building up the evidence, because men like us who know how to read other men, we can watch you. We can pick up on your speech patterns. We can pick up on how you look away when certain questions are asked. Notice how I maintain eye contact with the camera? That's truth. That's honesty. You can tell when a man starts to lie when he gets asked a question and then he looks to the left. You see, there's some things you start learning when you lived a little while. And so we here to just expose some of this. Why? Because we can't be bought. Because we're honest. And because we're just here for the people. My brother says he doesn't like Camacho. And Camacho. And again, I'm just letting the chat talk. Camacho is a company, I believe they used to be owned by Davidoff. And this is when you're going to start to see a lot of these companies are just sold off entities. A lot of these companies are bought entities. And so a company like a Camacho, sure. And so if you're ever wondering, it used to be good, now it's not good anymore. It used to be a quality operation. I believe it got sold off or something happened. Now it's its own thing. And now it's just not good. But they keep the name. You see, the name is everything. And that lets you know that it ain't got nothing to do with the tobacco. It's all about, can we keep the name? And even though the product may have changed, even though the quality may have changed, we still gonna push the same inferior product on the people. But we still have the name. So when you go to buy that Camacho, you thinking it's the Camacho. You thinking it's a Davidoff product. It ain't. You see, that's all the hustle that's out here. That's the con that's out here. They can take a name, and we all know that that's obviously what General Cigars does with the Cuban legacy names, the Cohibas, the Trinidads, the Monte Cristos. It's just a name. It ain't got nothing to do with the Cuban cigars, the Cuban Cohiba, the Cuban Monte Cristo. It's just a name. And so that's what they do in the cigar space. They just take a name and recycle the name. So the names, ain't but so many names that they use because they figure there's an attachment to the names. When we want to actually look at the tobacco, which you end up learning, there ain't that much tobacco farms out there. And so it's the same tobacco farms, and it's just some different names being thrown around. So when I sit here and say, hey, look, I grew up in a neighborhood with everything. Drugs, prostitution, all kinds of stuff, money, numbers running, everything, gambling. When I look at some of the cigar space stuff and even some of the whiskey stuff, it leaves me very comfortable and familiar. Because I'm like, oh, y'all running the game just like Ray used to run a game. Okay, got it. Same game, same hustle. And so that's why they recycle it so much. And again, I just speak the truth and just share it with you. And I also just try to say, hey guys, you notice how last year there was a bunch of names pushed on you? Okay. You notice how the year before there was a bunch of names pushed on you? Okay. It's the same names, the same characters, the same people in a lot of regards. They just jump around from company to company. But it's the same hustle. Yeah, Flathead's pretty good. That's CAO. And again, CAO, we used to always think of it like it was some boutique brand. No, it falls under General Cigars. So it's part of some big, huge conglomerate. But sometimes they'll have one company and they want you to get this idea that, oh, it's a small little boutique. Nah, these ain't no boutiques. They just work the name game on you. And again, and I like CAO. I like Amazon Brasilia. And at some point, we gotta like for instance, I like Amazon Basin, right? They tell us, okay, the tobacco comes from the jungles and the rainforest of Amazon, and they row it on canoes, and then they bring it in. Okay. To the grown-ups in the room, we got to listen to that. And we got to say, wait a minute. How much tobacco could you possibly fit on a canoe? Okay. CAO, you're owned by General Cigars. You're owned by you're owned by probably the world's largest cigar maker. I don't think you got indigenous people on canoes rowing through the Amazon jungle. So again, a lot of this, we gotta start applying some wisdom and saying, hey, now it's a great cigar. I love Amazon Basin, but I can't be a fool and really sit here and think this thing was actually on a canoe in the Amazon jungle 2 years ago. If I really think that, that makes me kind of dumb. And so we just gotta talk. Bro says, how does one man do all of this? He says, here's all these panels. Maybe it's time to stop tiptoeing around and start saying out loud, call these snakes out. Now, at the same time, I'm a nice guy. I want everybody to live and prosper and do well. I mean, I do deep down. But I do think that at some point, I mean, even looking at this channel, as my brother just said, I'm just one guy who half the time I'm not even talking about cigars. The way this show is growing and projecting, we got 50 people here on a Tuesday night. Just one guy, no brands, nothing to draw you in. Just a guy sitting here talking. The way the show is growing, we grew from 300 views to 500 to 600. We're looking at 700. We'll probably be hitting 1,000 views a show. One guy. I said this earlier. You know why that is? More so because of what others are not doing. Because of an emptiness. Because of every show you turn to and it's just a brand pushing their product and you could have a guy like me who just pop up out of nowhere and have all this success just because he telling a little bit of truth. Sometimes the truth can be so absent that when you hear it, it sounds so mind-blowing. Like, oh my God, he is so... Nah, it's just simple truth. What I'm saying, everybody else knows. I'm just sitting here saying it. And so again, the success of this channel is just based on the people. It's a show catered to the people. It's a show because, okay, listen. Okay, here's what it comes down to. When you cater to the brands, what are they going to do? Give me a hat and a t-shirt? All right. I might as well rock with the people. Maybe y'all, I might as well rock with the people. You guys are worth more than a hat and a t-shirt. All right. So we just jumped on here real fast. And what my sister's pointing out, so we got La Olla de Nicaragua. So they were put out by Drew Estates. And that again, all of this. So you, and I love Olla de Nicaragua. And I've always talked well about their Connecticut, their Ontario, Connecticut. But they've been distributed by Drew Estate. I talk a lot about La Palina, Goldie. That's the company that people think, oh, it's this boutique brand in Miami made by Titan de Bronze. Who do you think owns that? God honest truth. I'm from Miami. I've been in Titan de Bronze. It's this small little hole in the wall outfit. They got like 5 rollers in there. Well, who do you think owns it? The same guy that owns Drew Estates. And so sometimes the name you hear, we can't be fooled by the name. Or the story. Now, again, it don't mean it ain't a good cigar. It's a good cigar. Oh, my God. Bob Louie. Everybody give a shout out to Bob Louie. I'm a All right, Bob, I can't mess with you tonight. I say it every show. I say two things every show. I say my last show was my best show because the word is just getting out. And I say every show, I said, man, how much of a show do you have to put on for people who don't even like you to watch every single show? These shows is getting like 700 views. How ain't no brands. I'm not doing nothing crazy. I'm not wearing a clown suit. I'm just sitting here just talking. And this guy, he says I'm a negative Nancy. Dang, you getting me. Cry baby. I'm a cry baby. Negativity. Oh, Bob always screws it up, huh? Bob always screws it up. I'm trying to like let you shine, Bob. I told you guys, Bob was raised. Look, Bob dad. All right, Bob gonna make me light up a second cigar. Bob brings the best out of me. All right, I just happen to have a second one here. Bob brings the best out of me. You guys gonna end up finding out that Bob is like on my staff, and I pay him to come on here and mess with me. Bob does it every single show. All right, Bob, I done told you. It's for those who don't know, Bob is hanging out with the men. Didn't grow up around a lot of men. His dad said he was going to go get some milk and cigarettes. Never came back. And so Bob was raised by his aunties, his mom. And so Bob don't really understand, that some masculinity. Some people call Bob a troll. Bob is just a misguided individual. Okay, I lit up I brought out a second one just in case the first one was plugged or something. This is the Don Benino. You may have never heard about this brand. It's an amazing cigar. It comes out of Costa Rica. So it doesn't get the hype, doesn't get the marketing. You know what other tobacco comes out of Costa Rica? Gets a lot of hype, marketing. Atabey. El Septimo. Same tobacco fields. Now, Bob's here. I just take Bob's negativity and I said, all right, we're gonna use it to help somebody out. We're going to use it to help somebody out. Because I hated Bob, and I know I can tell everything about Bob from his grandma. Not his grandmother, but his grandma. Bob says negativity sells. All right, Bob meant to say negativity sells. I could have let it go, but I'm like, oh, look, come on, Bob. Like, negativity sells. So now I got to give something away, Bob, because of you. And I keep telling you, however much money the lady ripped you off for. So Bob says, some lady told him to send me some money. And he gave the woman the money. And now he's mad at me. All right. Okay. And Bob watches every single show religiously. And I usually say, all right, let me just ignore him. But then when I see bad English, it throws me off. Remember, I got a PhD. I write, read a lot. All right, he says negativity sells. So we all know Bob should have said negativity sells. So hashtag sells, SELLS. Hashtag sells, and I send somebody my cigar journal. Hashtag sells. Hashtag sells, and I send somebody my cigar journal. So we ready? We're ready. Got the same stuff we giving away every week. Giant among men, You want this Nasif? Please claim it. Hashtag truth got you the same bottle of New Riff I've been trying to give away since forever. And then hashtag sells. SELLS. Because as Bob says, and I try to find truth in everything, he says negativity sells. Got it. Okay. It's a good point. Good point. Good point. All right. Good point, sir. Our channels so my brother's on here, Old Fogey Stogie. He puts on a good show. Just bringing honesty. Just showing you some creativity. And so I find myself watching a lot of that. Bob. Anybody? I mean, Bob is always here. Bob is always here. Bob says negativity sales. Like, geez, Bob. Nah, I'm not cracking open nothing. I'm drinking my water, my mushroom coffee, and that's it. Pour one out for Bob. No, I'm not drinking nothing. I'm not drinking. Again, I got the friends coming over on Friday. The man, we're going to sit down. And my thing is, so everything about the show, I'm just saying what we say. The only difference is I got a mic. And to all the brands and whatnot, and even all the other content creators, I'm just saying what we say. So it ain't like I sit here, and I just come up with ideas. No, I go to lounges and I sit down and I listen to people in the lounge, and the people in the lounge, that's who talks and shares all this stuff. You think I'm out here researching, where's this? No, I sit in the lounge. I talk with people who know stuff. I listen. See, like what Bob doesn't do, I sit and listen. I listen to what the people are saying, what the people are talking about, and then I bring it back. Bob will be okay. Bob said negativity. Look all these people, Bob. I mean, it sells, Bob. He says negativity sells. And again, it speaks. There's nothing like you sitting here just trying to kick it with the people. I ain't bothering nobody. I ain't taking nothing from no one. Just saying the truth. Ain't nothing I done said where you can look back and say, oh, you were so wrong. I have not said a lie in anything I've said. Like, even with my apology video, there's no lie I said. No one has ever came out and said, oh, he lied about this. Nope. Ain't nobody ever said I lied about nothing. They usually just get mad because I was the one to say it. And then they usually say it themselves. I'm just saying what the people have been saying. And I say this to the brand. So sure, when I start saying more and more of this kind of stuff, sure, I will get attacked. But I'm just saying what the people have been saying. I'm not the first one to say, hey, $30 cigars sucks having to pay so much money. I heard a guy say that in the lounge, and now I say it. Now the brands get mad at me for saying it. I'm not the first one to say limited edition cigars, I don't like that. That's just what the people say. But as I was thinking about Bob, it ain't nothing like having somebody like take what you said or saying while you just trying to do a little bit good in the world. It is nothing like having somebody, I guess, I can't even, Bob, it's so much. Hashtag Bob sucks. There's nothing like having somebody try to like insult you and they're ignorant. I mean, isn't that where the world is at this point? The gentleman is trying to insult me. I'm literally sitting here. I'm going to sit here for like 2 hours. I'm talking. I think I'm quite articulate. I'm talking. I'm vibing. I'm having a whole show. Entertainment, education, all this stuff. And he's like, oh, I'm going to insult him. And he like, I bet you he doesn't even understand why it's funny. Like, I just glanced over. So realize I'm looking at the camera, smoking a cigar. And I'm like, I bet you he doesn't even know what's funny about it. He says negativity sells. And so earlier I said a statement. I said, hey, us men, we could just look at a man and tell everything we need to know. When that guy comes around and he's like, oh, I used to be a used car salesman. Now I sell cigars. We done heard everything. We know. We already know that, okay, yeah, here come your pitch. Here come your little story. As soon as they start with one of them, cigar for me is more as a passion project. My father, yeah, dude, who you think we are? You don't think we can tell a crook when we see one? So we can pick up on certain things, just, street smart, right? But also you got to realize, I'm a social scientist. So when a guy like Bob jumps on, I could do a full analysis of Bob just based upon what I imagine to be, probably his lack of education, his lack of empathy, just based upon his need for attention. So when I say stuff like, "Oh yeah, Bob, I bet my life," yes, he did not grow up with a father. He did not grow up with any male role models because he doesn't have that kind of strength. I can tell that. That's you can see the insecurity. You can see the almost the fear. This man jumps onto my live stream, whether it's a Tuesday night, whether it's a Friday night, which does suggest he's subscribed. I don't think you have to be subscribed to leave a comment, but the point is he's checking for it. I'm willing to bet, and I'll say this, and you guys might say, oh, you're going too far with this, but I'm willing to bet Bob watches me and really enjoys himself. That's just my professional opinion. I think so. The grammar, that just leads me into thinking a whole bunch of stuff because his mind was just a bit angry, a bit hectic to mix up those two words, sales and cells, and I don't think he's an ignorant person, but I do think that his mind was just racing so much that he just wanted to type those words out, get those words out, and then it just didn't connect. So just by looking, again, my PhD, you guys think I'm playing with this, my PhD was in words, in language, in interpretations. I study words. And to see how he used that word versus the other word, yeah. What's up, my sister, the leaf? Sisters of the leaf are here. All right. We just came for a quick Tuesday timeout. So I'm smoking this cigar. Smoking brilliantly. I just lit up the second one. I'm not messing with y'all for a long time. We just here for a quick time. Is it Bob's a clown? Again, I can psychoanalyze Bob, but I just see Bob as, I don't even see Bob as the problem. Bob is the symptom of the problem. There's a whole bunch of gaps. There's a whole bunch of things that went wrong. Bob was, so he had the upbringing. Things went wrong. Sure. Dad left. No positive male models around him. And I would strongly even suggest to you that something else happened to Bob along the way. I'm willing to bet maybe mom brought around an uncle. Uncle touched Bob. And Bob is, he's challenged by it. He's challenged by it. And so Bob is going to be here every show. I mean, that's a fact. Again, I'm willing to bet Bob watches a lot of my content. And I'm not just saying this, to be clowning and having fun. I am seriously, Bob spends a lot of time watching me. And again, that's in my 100% professional opinion. And then what we can also understand is that he'll jump on and say, and it's always, and notice, it's the same thing. He'll make an error, but it's because his body is working faster than his own mind. So that's why he always misspells a word, but it's not that he misspelled it, but his fingers is typing faster than his brain. So he's doing this in a panic rush. And then what happens is this, and I'm not even caught up in the chat. Once Bob is exposed, then he just disappears. And so I'm not even following in the chat. But I'm willing to say this, and Bob can always prove me wrong. If Bob writes another comment, that would prove me wrong. But I'm willing to bet he doesn't write anything else. Because once he's exposed, then he's kind of thrown off. Especially when I speak to it directly, because he's never had that. Because I'm not saying it in a mean way or aggressive way, but I am saying it. Okay, all right. I did not come here to do this. All right, all right. Bob will be okay. Like my brother says, well, Bob doesn't think he's worth the acknowledgement. So when it happens, it throws him off. Yeah, I do think there's possibly some molestation that happened with Bob. And he might even get excited. I'm not saying this just to be funny, but I do think that he obviously watches me a lot. There's a connection that he has with me. He's going to jump on, say something, and as soon as the light shines on him. And if you've ever watched a little kid, walked in on your son while he's, playing with himself, he's so ashamed and embarrassed and he just freezes because he wasn't expecting it. He thought he was just going to troll and then just what? Imagine when the lights turn on and now you're exposed. And so now he's just frozen. He's still watching, but he won't type anything else because he's just frozen, just shock because nobody ever actually spoke to him. Because once dad left and mom started having all these uncles and friends come around, yeah, life just became different for him. So a guy like me, I see you, Bob. I recognize you. I don't hate you. I'm not against you. You'll be all right. You'll be all right, Bob. All right. All right. Well, I'll take away for the show. Okay. Brands. Y'all didn't even mention no brands. Come on, y'all. Y'all didn't mention no brands. All right. Y'all trying to get me. Y'all like, you do it. You do it, Rise and Grind. You do it. All right. Fine. All right. I'll do it. Jeez. I'll do it. All right. All right. Brands we don't trust. All right. Jeez. Y'all really just left me out here. Look. I got videos to say it. I didn't want to say it on a live. All right. We go. Okay, brands. All right. I'm gonna throw like I said I didn't want to throw no names. All right. Bro, keep saying El Mago. I don't know what that is, old fogey. Is that a brand that you don't trust? I'm not familiar with it. All right. I hit you with a brand I don't trust. All right. I don't trust Fede Otego. That's a brand I don't trust. It's something about you can just look at a man. Look. I wish the cigars were good. I don't like them. I know everyone else rocking them. Look. Listen. I'm going to say this and I just go by how man vibe. I can look at a man and say, nah, I don't trust this man. I don't trust you. I don't trust this dude. Nah. I don't trust this dude. And I know, and again, that's just based on my street smarts. I can't even like, Bob got me so thrown off right now. I can't even like articulate and say, nah. That dude looked like he sell life insurance. Like, and again, I'm just saying the way we talk. Don't leave me out here by myself. Y'all gonna leave me out here by myself and get me all canceled. I'm just saying the way we talk, way we get down, what we say in my cigar lounges, when me and my friends sit and talk. I watched this guy a lot of interviews, and I'm like, nah. And he did respond on one of my shorts, and that showed me everything I needed to know. This guy here, watch it. He says, wealth of knowledge. Okay. Look, I'm just going off of the way I vibe, what I see, what I smell, what I hear. I said something about, I think, one of his cigars, and I was like, I smoked the cigar, didn't like it. Didn't really do it for me. And then, of course, it was a short. And what I noticed he did is he responded to everyone in the short who said something like agreeing. You see, that right there, that showed me that, okay, no. Because there's a way a man moves. There's a way a man operates. There's a way a man gets down. If somebody say something you disagree with, you just disagree with. There's a lot of things a lot of people do. Listen. All right, we're going to speak. All right, listen. Even like with this live, right? There's people, they don't rock with me. They don't like me. They don't watch my stuff. But they know to leave a comment on a live because they watch it, but they don't really rock with me. But they watch it, but they'll leave a comment thinking that's going to take away from what we talking about here. Not realizing we talking about us. This is us. This is our thing. We doing us. And I pointed this out a lot of times. I think the term used to be hate watching. We like to say trolling. I'm going to come up with a new term, and it's for like content creators who don't really watch my stuff, but then they try to comment just to advertise what they're doing or what they think or to support their cause. You see, we grew up around the hustlers, the pimps, the drug dealers. We can see all this stuff. It's just on social media now. We see it. And we're like, yeah. So we know who really watching, who really do this show, and who really part of the whole rise and grind movement. Yeah, we kind of turn a frown when other people jump on and like, nah, we don't really do that here. This is just for us. This is just for us. It's just for the people. Just the people who really support the show, who really support the channel. We don't really let you just jump on here and, you gotta really be for the show. And men like us, we can pick up on that. We can be like, who's this guy? This guy ain't never left no comment. I don't know who that is. What's up, Vigilante Roster? See, this is a guy who supports the show. We know him. What do you say, Padilla? All right, I'll go with that. And the people are all saying Padilla. Got it. All right. He says, give him a shot. All right, I'll try to. A lot of people don't like the Magic Toast. Old Fogey. Me and Old Fogey used to talk about how the folks that just want to jump on, say a little thing. Like, nah, come on. Like, who y'all think we are? Okay. Nah, man. So, yeah. So, that's my one. I'll give you that. So, yeah. I don't really mess with the whole Fede Ortega. Just off of a vibe. That's all I can give you. I can look at a man and tell, like, yeah, I don't mess with that dude. And that's just for me. And if I'm sitting in a lounge and that's what me and my boys are talking about, me and my friends are talking about, that's just what we talking about. If I'm sitting and we talking about it and that's what we all saying, that's what we all feel. Ain't no changing that. Unless one of us smoke the cigar and be like, oh my God, it's so good. Yay. All right, then. Okay. Then we'll give it a try. You see, the brands don't tell us what to do. We try it for ourselves and we only listen to us. What this show is this is like 52 dudes sitting at a big table in a cigar lounge. We know each other. And we listen to each other. And that's all we listen to. All we listen to is each other. And what the brands don't understand, well, they understand it because they know. That's why a guy like Michael Herclock will jump in my shorts and start commenting everybody who dissed his cigar in the short. You mean to tell me this guy running the whole company, he got time to leave comments in my shorts? Not even a video, not even a live, in a short. You mean to tell me he got that kind of time? But yeah. You see, we pick up on that kind of stuff. The reason why he would do that because he understands the pull the show has. Now, he'll never actually, leave a comment here. And nah. He'll try to do it like respond to somebody's comment. Like we don't see stuff like that. Come on, knock it off. Knock it off. The thing I always say on my show is, look, the same thing you would have done in real life, you better do that the same thing here. If it was me and my boys chilling at the lounge, if you wouldn't have walked up to us and say nothing, I suggest you sit your little happy ass down on your corner and leave us alone. Cause we's men. Yeah, we smoke flatheads. All right, and my sister's saying, hey, and I always make sure, hey, the sisters, the brothers, we just the good people. We know who we are. We got us. All right. She says, the Gurkha, and Gurkha's a brand that, yeah, I guess, yeah, the word is out. The Gurkha, we don't really like Gurkhas like that. I say you don't trust Creekside. I mean, they're just a lounge. All right. They're just a lounge. Yeah. Hey. Or I say you don't trust. Yeah, you know what? I got nothing but love for Brian over at Pravada. That's the kind of guy who I can look at. Look, I can just look at that guy. Yes, him and I have corresponded on several occasions. I would actually work with him. Truth be told. I probably will work with him, truth be told. Because I can just see it. I can see how, I can connect with that guy. Seems like a solid dude. You can pick up, again, just like I did with Bob a second ago, you can pick up so much on just how a man operates, how a man talks, his body language, even the way he types something, even when he types something. You can pick up so much on how a man gets down. And again, Brian got hated. Brian with Pravada. He got hated. Why? Because he was just speaking the truth. Too much truth. Letting us know, look, it's the same tobacco. You just age it a little bit more. It's going to taste a little bit better. People hated on Brian because he said that. People hate on me because, what did I say? What did I say anything? No, I'm just telling you my truth. Ain't nothing to hate on. My sister said, acid. And yeah, I definitely did a thing where I said, all right, look, forget all them acids. I'm not into the acids. Yeah. Yeah, my brother's in the shorts commenting. Because I mean, even as okay, so my sister right here, and this show is real. This is a real show. We got women here, men here. We chilling on a Tuesday night, just us. So Sister Joe here, my sister, she just said she gonna send me some stuff. I send her some stuff. You can tell when you're dealing with a good person. You can just pick up the vibe. So even when I left, I did the short. I do 1 million shorts, right? So her clocks was in the shorts, and he even commented, was replying to her. And I'm watching this okay. So he replying to people. All right, okay, I see the move here. I see the move. That's the kind of stuff a guy like me, I see it. All right. Okay, I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing here. So if I get on here and say, yeah, your cigars are lackluster, lame, I think you a two-bit hustler. Is that okay? I mean, you replying to all the people on my shorts. Is that okay? Is that professional etiquette? Nah, come on now. Don't play with me. Don't. You can't play with me. Some people, you just leave them alone. Just leave Rise and Grind alone. Everybody, leave Rise and Grind alone. But since you can't trust a brand that has 100 blends. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I see, hey, look. I just see them, there's some young guys out in, I think, Cincinnati. They're doing their thing. I watch a lot of their stuff. But yeah. I mean, I ain't got nothing against them. But yeah, they do tend to push the stuff that seems to be new. And again, everyone's working an angle. I mean, so again, I don't hate on the business. I just hate when I think your business just and again, it's not even something I could even quantify. I'm just a dude going off of my internal discernment. And so a lot of people knock our Holt. Say, oh, they push the cigars they sell. Yeah, that's called business. So I'm not even gonna knock them. Cigars Daily, they push the cigars they sell. And so I noticed Creekside, Creekside, they push the cigars I suppose they sell. But I got nothing against them. Bro says he don't trust any of these brothers. These cats with no brothers around them. The worst thing is, because we already know the play. Come on, look, we grown-ups. The worst thing isn't if they got no brothers around them. The worst thing if they got the token brother always with them. You see, so it's a big thing. It's a big thing, my friends. It's a big thing. Again, this is us chilling in the lounge, just talking. We know the move. We know it's always gonna be that token brother let into the group. Come on now. We see stuff. We know stuff. What's going on? He said knuckle sandwich are trash. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to like it. She says I'm up to 11.9. I know, but after tonight, we already know. It's 11.9 now. I'm gonna wake up, it's gonna be like 11.7. And we just gonna keep doing it for the people. We are all we got. Again, this is 50 people sitting in the lounge in our neighborhood. The men, the women, just connecting. We know what we're talking about. And the reason why I'm doing this is I guess sometimes I just gotta, not to say touch in and connect with the people, but sure, I'm going to be putting out some content. And I love it when, I think when I say what I say, people always think I'm just making this up. Like, oh yeah, Bob stay here. We did a whole psychoanalyst of Bob. Bob's okay. Bob's in the right place. I think when I do what I do, I think there's this impression that, I'm just saying what we say in the lounge. The reason why y'all watching this, the reason why this show is growing so much is because I'm just saying what we've been saying. That's the appeal for this show. Now, sure, when I come out and I say something like, oh, yeah, this guy, he kind of shifty. I don't really trust him. I don't really mess with him. I don't like how he did that one thing. That's what we all said. We all see the stuff. We all see the little sneaky stuff. We all see it. I'm just foolish enough to talk about it and say it. The only difference between me and the guys who I hang out with, I'm the one that started a YouTube channel. And so if you ever wonder, like, where's he get all this content from? All these, because I go to the lounge. We sit and we talk, we drink, we smoke, we hang out. And then sometimes I turn my camera on and I sit in front of y'all. So it's the same conversation. The good thing is when I say it, yeah, I know how to deal with people. With all my different walks, my different lives that I live, I interact with a lot of people. So I know how to read something. I know how to feel a person. I know how to tell what a person's really saying. And so that allows me to even just say, yeah, I can jump on here and say, oh, yeah, this one brand sucks. This one brand's ripping us off. This one brand, yeah. Because when the brand try to say something, do something, I know how to respond to them. Because I know the business of it. I know what the streets are saying. And I know just how the people think. All right. So everybody here, everybody rocking out. No, Rob, we just chilling. No, ain't nothing happened. Ain't nothing happened, Bob. I mean, Rob. We just here. We just chilling. You know, sometimes you in the lounge, you just chilling. And you just chilling. Ain't gotta be nothing controversial. Ain't no brand did nothing. They ain't did nothing. You know, sometimes you just chill. You know why? Sometimes when you just vibe with your people, you chilling, you vibing. Somebody walk in the lounge, y'all get a little quiet, but you still talking. Dude, like, dang, this lounge is quiet. It ain't quiet. No, we chilling. We just vibing. We just here. But we all thinking the same thing. We all watching the same movie. We all know what we talking about. All right, so that's what we came to talk about. It's just the people. Shows for the people. It ain't gonna never be about no brands. The people will always win. The show is for the people. And yeah, I think that's the appeal for this show. It's just us. To me, I feel as if we've lost a lot of spaces. I know when I go to the cigar lounge, I mean, some of them, you know, they got the music playing. I'm like, dang, since when we start doing this? I want to make sure that our show, and again, I said this earlier, the brands have budgets. They got their marketing budget. They got their sales budget. Let the brands utilize their budgets. Let them sell their products. Let them do what they do. That's business. That's commerce. I got an MBA, so I can tell you everything I know about business. Let the brands do what they do. But this platform is social. Social media. This ain't a place where the brands ought to be. No. Because I know I don't care about what no brand got to say. I have never one day woken up and said, I wonder what the owner of that company has to say about his cigars, and I'd love to listen to. No. That's nothing I've ever thought about. That's like me saying, like my brother said, yeah, this is a way to it's like being in a lounge. It's just us. And I just wish we can get back to just us. I don't know who invited the brands into social media. Look, Mr. Brands, y'all take your marketing budget and go sell products. Do it the old-fashioned way. If you're a real company, just sell products the old-fashioned way. Leave us alone. Just let us do us. Yeah. You go to Cigar Aficionado and buy you an ad. But let us socialize. And so that's what this platform is for. It's just a guy and the people. It's a Tuesday night. I said I wasn't going to do no long show. Y'all got me here. Y'all rocking out. So we appreciate you. So again, what am I doing on Friday? Having a men's circle, having the fellas come over. We going to talk. If you ever wonder, where do I get my content from? When the men and women come over, we talk. We smoke cigars. We don't talk about the cigars. We just talk. And so that's what the show is. It's social media, not brand media. It's just us sharing what we talk about. So, no show this Friday. Got some content coming out. Tomorrow, got a video. I think tomorrow's video is cigars I used to love, I don't love anymore. And then I think on Thursday, I'm dropping just looking at Cigars Aficionado, their top 10. Just giving you my ratings of those different cigars. And so, peace out. Another 2-hour quick Tuesday. I lit up a second cigar for y'all. Y'all still here. I appreciate you. But I'm leaving. So, watch the content that's coming out. Please support it. Like, comment, subscribe. But most importantly, rise and grind.